This is part one of a painting that's going to look nothing like how it started when I get to the end. Before we get into it, hit the like button and give me a follow. Join me because I love talking about art and life and uplifting things, and I would like a community where we uplift each other. So this painting started out like another one that I made videos of, where I did Inktense blocks and pencils, which are like a very pigmented watercolor, and then I used a baby wipe to finger paint to get that base. And now I'm going over everything with gouache. Such a funny word. I always say it funny. Gouache. I can't make it sound fancy and very French. It just sounds funny to me. Gouache. So I'm layering and layering, and I got that base underneath just to give that tone to come through. But the end game, hey, my dog's barking in the background. There's my little doggy Scout. Scout is so noisy. Scout finally stopped barking, that silly dog. He's very old, Scout is. He's an old man, and I adore him. So, anyway, I'm going to put this pink down, but it's going underneath because I'm going to paint over it. I do love pink. I think a girl can never have too much pink. And honestly, there was a moment I was tempted to leave it like this, but that's not my goal here. And I can do another painting with pink in the background because I'm going for something else. So, I want this to kind of shine through under the darker colors. Sometimes painting is kind of a weird process because you have to do steps that are like wasted. Like I did that whole thing with the Inktense blocks, and I did the baby wipe thing, which I have another painting that I left it that way. But then now I'm layering over and over and over it, and I'm painting all this pink that I'm kind of like wasting because I'm going to put other colors over. But it does create a depth and an undertone. I keep using that word. It gives you an undertone, and it changes the value and the color of what goes on top. Kind of like life, you know? Sometimes you have to do a lot of effort that seems like it's wasted, but it's not, because it's preparing for something else. It's certainly that way with gardening. There's so many other little tasks you have to do before you put seeds and plants in that ground. So now I'm just going with the gray and going over that pink over and over it. You know, if I use acrylic, I can cover up things very quickly, but that's not really what I'm going here with the gouache. My gouache. I want it to kind of have that see-through quality, so I can just keep building the layers, but you can see through to the bottom ones. This is just part one, so this thing is going to go through a lot of phases here. Now I've got some black gouache, and I'm starting on the outside because going around the edges of a flower is going to be a little difficult. And I also want the directionality of the strokes to go towards the flower, because I want that kind of I don't know, that brushy kind of look going in towards the flower. Another thing that is kind of difficult with painting is blending. It takes a lot of patience. It takes so much patience to blend your colors. And then sometimes you blend them and they look wrong and they suck. And you're like, oh no, I have to go again. I have to keep going and keep layering it up and keep trying. And it's really irritating. But it's worth it. When I get to the end of this video, you're probably going to think it looks bad because I have to do part two where it's going to look nicer and it's going to look good, because the blending takes some time and effort. You know what's, I don't know what to say. Like, I guess it's frustrating. People don't watch the end of your videos. They don't watch the whole video. I try to be entertaining. But, like, when you look at the insights, it's a small percentage of people that watch your whole video. I don't know. I need to hook you guys in. If you're still here watching, thank you. I love you. I love you and adore you for keeping watching, for sticking with me on my art process video. Thank you. I appreciate you. And if you stopped watching earlier and then you come back and you watch this point, you should have never stopped watching. You should have stuck with me because this is fun. Well, I think it's fun. I think it's funsies. So, I'm going in and blending with like the gray, and then I'm adding more blue. And so I've made a rather long process video, and I'm going to put part 2 out tomorrow. And this thing is going to continue to evolve. Stick with me, kids.